What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Tony's Picks Look Ahead show here with yours truly, Vegas Al, ready to break down January 31st action. Big time Saturday slate we got ahead of us here. I'm going to get almost into everything here. We're going to talk about tennis. We're going to talk about fights, boxing and MMA. Get that out the way. We're going to talk about some NHL at the beginning of the show, college hoops, and of course, NBA basketball, all here right now at the Tony's Picks Look Ahead show here. Get ahead of some of these lines. Get ahead of any of these betting trends. Like and subscribe here before we get into this action. We're going to start, like I said, here in the NHL. I'm only going to talk about 3 games. We do have a big hockey slate here for tomorrow. Again, we got the night moves coming up. We have the morning show as well. That'll be 6:30 a.m. here on the West Coast, 9:30 a.m. there on the East Coast. So, again, plenty of shows here. But let's talk about the Jets and Panthers. When I look here at this one, pull it up here, find this line. 1 second. Yes, Panthers minus 150 here on the money line, total at 5.5. I am seeing Bobrovsky versus Hellebuyck. Hellebuyck is confirmed. Bobrovsky is expected. I don't know. To me, I like Hellebuyck in net. Always want to back an under, or at least possibly a team total under here with the Panthers. But Bobrovsky here as of late hasn't been that good, and really all season long. 874 save percentage, a 303, goals allowed. His last 3 games, 3 goals, 3 goals, 3 goals. So doing as expected. Obviously had that 9-goal shellacking he took there versus Carolina earlier this month. Hard to get that out of my mind. Lean here is to the plus money here with the Winnipeg Jets. And I do think Bobrovsky doesn't get knocked around too much. You're looking at a 3-2 type game, possible overtime type game. I like getting the plus money here with the Jets. And if I get a far travel spot away from home, all the way down here in Florida, but got to go here with the Winnipeg Jets in that one. We have Maple Leafs and Canucks. Maple Leafs here are the minus 140 favorite here in Vancouver. Wall versus Lankinen here. Lankinen, again, ugly season numbers, but if you look as of late, still getting rocked. 3 goals, 3 goals, 5 goals, 3 goals, 4 goals, 4 goals, 4 goals. Again, a 3.20 goals allowed per game, 8.81 save percentage compared to Wall, who's been slightly better this year, 2.83 goals allowed, 9.08 save percentage. As of late as well, yes, he had the 6-goal shellacking against Buffalo, but that's the Sabres, a whole different beast. Hung in there versus the Avalanche, 3 goals allowed, 2 goals allowed versus Detroit as of late. So I can go and I can kind of trust Wall here to get it done. Look, Canucks at the end of the day are just abysmal. Look at what they've done at home this year, 6-17, or really 6-20 at home this year. The Maple Leafs not the greatest of teams on the road, 8-15. I don't feel like it's too much juice. I'm seeing minus 135 at some books, minus 140 here with the Maple Leafs. I got to look there. Even without Nylander in, I got to go Maple Leafs here. That's how much I refuse to go Canuck dance. All right, I think this is the final hockey game I'll discuss. No, we got a couple more, or one more here after this one. But Wild and Oilers, when I look here, we got the Oilers, the minus 135 favorite, a total of 6.5. Again, when you see Oilers games, I do think over with this prolific offense that they have. But look at the goalkeeping we're expecting here. Gustafsson's been solid all year long for this Wild squad. I've loved backing unders when he's in net. Again, 2.53 goals allowed, 9.10 save percentage. Jari here, I don't know. The numbers aren't terrible, but again, this back injury that has been on and off all year with him, it's hard to get a read on him, really. 4 goals, 2 goals, 6 goals his last 3 games. Not bad season-long numbers. He's at that 9.0 save percentage at least. I don't know. I kind of want to get on the dog here with the Wild. And, I do kind of want to back an under 6.5 here. I do think the total is a slight bit too high. I just think a defensive type game here. Trust these goalies to kind of, keep this game under. You look, these two teams met last time back in December 20th. It wasn't over, a 5-2 Minnesota win. I just think, again, back then they were dealing with, these Oilers are dealing with really big time problems with Skinner. And of course, Skinner is no longer on the Oilers and showing out. But back then it's almost unbackable when he was in net with the Oilers. I'd expect a slight improvement out of Jarry until his back falls apart. Other than that, I gave you what I think on this one. Wild and under 6.5. All right, we got Kraken and Vegas Golden Knights. Golden Knights here minus 200. Oh my gosh. I'm not the biggest guy, Aiden Hill guy. Just look at the numbers, 8.55 save percentage. He's been hurt almost all year anyways. The little he's played has not been good. Golden Knights on a 3-game losing streak as of late. Oh, look at the Kraken here on a 3-game winning streak. Yes, I know it sounds a little crazy here. I'm going to go with the plus money, though, with the Kraken. This is just simply based off how these two teams are playing right now. Vegas as a minus 200 favorite. No, thank you. I don't even care if they're at home. Give me some Kraken here in this one. Plus 170. All right, let me check the chat, and then I'll be moving right along to this NBA slate here. All right. We got TMC 562, bro. You're really good. Appreciate it. I'll get to the recap of tonight's action. We were on Michigan. Got that done. Again, I was saying it should have been a bigger number. That game did get close, but there was at times Michigan was dominating that game. 16 points in the last minute of Michigan game to blow my under. Down 10. Yeah. No, I did see that. They were playing that foul game a little too much. Jeremy Fears just got himself almost 30% or 35% of the points for Michigan State. The supporting cast wasn't there. We'll get to it later tonight when I show you guys the recap, but that was a nice win. And then we were also on Cornell. Go Big Red. Big Red got it done for us as well today. Blew out Princeton, ran them right out the gym like we thought they would. But let's get back to what I was somebody else here in the chat real quick. We got Chicago Joe. What's up? Love the picks, brother. What do you think about tomorrow's soccer picks? I hate to tell you, bro, that's the one sport I'm not covering tomorrow because I looked through some of them. Like Atletico Madrid I was looking at, probably juiced. Just because he wants to know. Let me try to give him one real quick. But again, this is firing straight off the hip. But I don't want to touch English Premier League. I don't like Leeds, Arsenal, and Liverpool, Newcastle. I don't want to touch those two. Bundesliga, when I was looking at the Frankfurt Leverkusen. I always got to go with Leverkusen. But again, that's probably juiced. They also have lost 3 in a row. So that's a tricky spot. And it's juiced. That's why I don't like talking about that one. But again, telling you what I thought. And then, Atletico versus Levante. Those. He likes Leverkusen. Hey, roll with it. I was looking at them as well. So I just didn't put it on the slate. There you go. I covered some soccer for you guys. But let's get back to NBA, what I was going to talk about. We got Spurs and Hornets here. I believe Spurs laying, let me find this line here. Minus 3.5, total 226. Look at the injury report here in this one. I'm just seeing Sochan here with the quadriceps for the Spurs. And then when I see for the Hornets, injury report-wise, not a lot. Josh Green, KJ Sampson, Mason Plumlee. So basically 2 healthy squads rotation-wise. Boy, these Hornets are chippy. They blew Cooper Flagg's big night there. Obviously, it was like a 49-point performance. Kneippel going 8 for 12 from 3, put on a performance. I could argue this is a letdown spot. I know they have the Spurs here, but that was just a high energy, down to the wire thriller. These guys are young. That's the only thing that gets me thinking this one can still be another high flying, up and down type game. So total at 226. I get the Hornets have actually been trending to the under this year, but it's a back-to-back spot and whatnot. Not really back-to-back. They do have a day rest, but still, like the over 226 in this one. Picking a side, I swear I could get on the Hornets. I could get on the Hornets plus the 3.5. It sounds crazy, I know. But you look, this Bridges, what do you call it? Brandon Miller, LaMelo, and Kneipel. That core four right there, I'll put up with anybody in the league on any given night. But they're getting 3.5. I'd like a little more. That's my only thing about wanting to get on Hornets. I'd rather just chase this total and for it to go up and over. I'm going to ignore the trend of the Hornets totals. I think who's going to stop Wembanyama? It's just whether or not we get the supporting cast help from the Spurs. I might be a little bit starter jacket in love. It should be Spurs easy, right? That's what gets me scared about wanting to go to the Spurs here. Laying it on the road still. Again, just stick to what I think here. Total 226 is too light. I'm going over, ignoring the under trend of the Hornets here. All right, we got T-Wolves and Grizzlies. T-Wolves here minus the 7.5. Grizzlies here 229.5 is the total, excuse me. Let me say that again. Timberwolves here minus 7.5 on the road in Memphis. Total 229.5. So yes, we are dealing here with a back-to-back spot for the Grizzlies. Dropped it tonight versus the Pelicans. Believe we gave the Pelicans out last night as a free pick. It's just down to all these guys that are out for the Grizzlies still. Aldama, Ty Jerome, Scottie Pippen, Jr., John Morant, Brandon Clark, and Zach Edey all on the injury report. And then really just Terrence Shannon for the T-Wolves. Do I want to lay this number on the road with the T-Wolves at minus 7.5? Not really. We know how the Timberwolves are when it comes to laying these type of points. You got to look. Do they have a possible look-ahead spot up next? No. What do you call it here? It's a 2-game set, both here in Memphis. So I think this is the type of situation where the T-Wolves actually do want to smack around Memphis a little bit. So, again, I'd be leaning with the Timberwolves laying it as much as sketchy as it is, situational-wise, though. They just split one there with the Warriors in a 2-game set. I think now since they're the much better team, front court advantage they'll have almost against any team. Love this front court. I've just been a dead record, broken record with that. T-Wolves front court, one of the best in the league. Shut down Jaren Jackson. Oh, no Zach Edey. Thank you. Give me T-Wolves here minus 7.5 in that one. We got Mavericks and Rockets, last NBA game I'll talk about. I'll get back to the chat here in just a second. We got Rockets minus 10.5. Total is 220.5. You look here, Anthony Davis still obviously out. Just the usual names, nothing crazy. So basically Mavericks should be a full go. Same thing here with the Rockets. 2 healthy lineups as of right now. Again, stay tuned. See if any late additions. Always. I'm not interested in laying 10.5 with the Rockets. I'm just, even at home. And they've been a solid team this year, spread-wise. So could say it's a little bit of a confidence boost how the Mavericks played the other night. I get it was in losing efforts. I just think play through flag. Najee Marshall has done big things this year as well. Still a little bit of length here on this Maverick squad in the front court. Washington, etc. PJ Washington. So I like the Mavericks enough to get plus 10.5 here in our back pocket. Total at 220. No, thank you. Not going to touch it. The unders in NBA right now are going crazy. Somebody had the stat the other day. This was like 2 days ago. Since January 24th, it was 25-9 to the under. That's like 2 days ago now. So, again, I don't know how it's been. I can track and look, but I don't have the time for that right now. Unders have been cashing in the NBA. So, I gave you guys an over. What game was it? The Spurs-Hornets, I gave an over out. And going against the Hornets under trend there, too. I'm ignoring it. T-Wolves, Grizzlies, again, minus 7.5. And then here I like the points with the Mavericks. Plus the 10.5 here with Dallas. All right, let me see what the chat thinks here. Chicago Joe with the Leverkusen, absolutely. Like I said, let's do that. You're the only one on Tony's picks who took Nevada. 4 others took UNLV. Yeah, I mean it happens. I'm right here in the neck of the woods with Nevada and UNLV. That's a rivalry. Those two schools do not like each other. I will admit it's when the UNLV's basketball is a lot better, the rivalry is a little bit funner. But football wise, yeah, those two teams don't like each other. Even with how bad Nevada's been in football, those two teams don't like each other. Let me see what was the final score. What, by 13 they won? South San to lay the 8.5. Yeah. So there you go. UNLV with their jack volume. They're almost IU Indy like. No, thank you. Don't like touching them. Did I bet that one personally? No. And I gave you guys Dayton. My apologies. Ugly. Can't win them all. I didn't bet that one either, but thought it was too much points. If you look before, historically, Dayton had actually been covering quite a bit versus St. Louis. St. Louis bounced back after the scare they had the other night. Shout out to anybody that was on St. Louis. Again, I can't win them all. I talk about the winners, talk about the losers. Michigan was solid tonight. Loved that one. Raptors outscored by 21 in fourth. Also got me blue 11-point lead. That one actually, see, I'll tell you the truth. I actually did touch the Raptors tonight again because you guys know I've been talking major crap about the Magic. Yeah, so ugly how we dropped that one. Brandon Ingram is lazy at times. I didn't watch that game. I'm just knowing Brandon Ingram is lazy at times. Just if he wasn't lazy, he'd be Kevin Durant. He took Michigan too. LL said Detroit Pistons. Everybody else was on Golden State. Yeah. That one's not over. I mean, there is 9 minutes left in that game. I don't know. It's hard to back the Warriors right now. They're getting older and older. The Pistons have been taking everybody's money all year long. That's just all right. Let's move on into college hoops tomorrow because we got a gigantic slate. I only have a few games here, but I make sure to get these marquee games in. We're still not even near Fight Talk. We got Fight Talk still on the horizon. Stay tuned here. We're only 17 minutes in. What we got here, BYU and Kansas. 1 second. Let me pull up this game. I believe it was minus the 3.5 I was seeing with Kansas. 1 second. You got to find all these lines on these books. Jesus. This thing's like way down. There we go. 3.5. Total of 156.5. Finally found it, guys. I don't know. Allen Fieldhouse. That's what worries me. And I've been going back and forth on this one. I think this White and Darren Peterson, these two guards, I don't think BYU has guards as good as these guys. Even Saunders from BYU. Yeah, he can shoot the three, but I'm talking about the complete game. I think Kansas has the two better guards. You got this cat Bryson Tiller, not the singer. We got the big man here from Kansas. I think that's somebody that you could throw at DeBansa, rough him up a little bit, use all your fouls. I don't know. At Allen Fieldhouse, again, I'll keep reiterating that. Forced to play this one. We're rocking the chalk with the Jayhawks here. And again, I was going back and forth on this one. I'm not 100% confident, but you got to go Allen Fieldhouse advantage with Kansas at home. And they actually have a little bit of a squad this year. It's no longer the Hunter Dickinson era here in Kansas. That was a brutal time for all those Jayhawk fans, but it's no longer like that. I think I would call this an upset. I mean, 17-3 BYU. I don't know if it's an upset. I mean, they're the favorite, right? Kansas is the favorite. It's not really an upset when you're the favorite, but I'd say before the year, there was probably a lot more hype on BYU than there was Kansas. So Kansas gets it done here at home. We got Kentucky, Alabama, or Kentucky, Arkansas, the Calipari Bowl. I'm going to start calling these ones. I think this is the win one for coach type angle here. Calipari gamesmanship. He praised Mark Pope, everything that he's doing for Kentucky. He wants to kick their butt. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, last year's game, he beat them by 10. I think they covered both times, actually, last year. Arkansas, just better this year. They're completely starting to turn things around, this program. He's going to do everything he did at Kentucky at Arkansas. Don't know if he ever gets to national championship that'll get. But as far as recruits, yeah, he'll keep pulling them in. Acuff, Malik Thomas. Brazil's been there for, it seems like a decade now. But this is a deep Arkansas squad. Again, they can play the slow pace. They can play the fast pace, scoring 90 points a game, jacking up, top 24 in the country in three-point field goal percentage, jacking up a ton per game as well. Free throws, they have the advantage here versus Kentucky. But the only thing I'm seeing here is the boards. Kentucky should have the advantage on the boards and defensively. But here in Fayetteville, I don't know, 40 minutes of hell type of style here. Again, win one for the coach, whip up on him. You look ATS-wise, 8-13 is Kentucky to the number, losing about 5 units. Arkansas, 14-7 to the number. Let's win one for our Mafia boss, Calipari, -6.5 here. Arkansas in that one. We got St. Mary's. We got Gonzaga. I think this is the final college hoops game I wanted to talk about because, again, we got fights to start talking about here. We got St. Mary's. We got Gonzaga. Gonzaga minus the 10.5, total 148.5. Last year's final meeting was a slugfest of 58-51 Gonzaga win, way under the total, right? This one here, a 148 total. I could obviously see this one being scrappy. St. Mary's loves to slow it down. 302nd in the nation in pace. I don't know. The three-point field goal percentage actually points to St. Mary's. They're number 1 in the country in free throw percentage as a team, 81%. St. Mary's, to me, is a live dog. Again, Gonzaga, 14 straight wins. But you look, there's some injury concerns here with, Gonzaga. Graham Ike and Braden Huff possibly will not be playing in this one. Huff is already listed as out. Graham Ike is a game-time decision. Those are two mighty, mighty big pieces in this Gonzaga front court. Got to look at St. Mary's here, plus the points, maybe even a little bit of a sprinkle on the money line here. 19-3 St. Mary's get it done against the 21-1 Gonzaga. Should be a good little final game of the night for us in college basketball. I like the dog here in this one. We're going to talk about tennis. Hopefully, I think the only one that really cares about the tennis is Kel Dog, but I hope Kel Dog got on the Joker. I hope she did. Plus 700 on the money line cashed. I said to just take the plus 7.5 and sprinkle the money line. But again, you should have the mortgage paid off this month if you hit Djokovic last night. So that's all I got to say. We got an opponent here in Alcaraz who, again, I was even saying possibly get on Zverev there. So I'm looking dog here. I hate to say it, looking dog here. Alcaraz, obviously, the drop shot game. Djokovic is going to be hip to it. Head-to-head, these guys have battled. Obviously, Djokovic has been on the wrong side of most of these things. He's getting on the upper end in his career. But he got an easy little path there with Musetti retiring. Not as much tread on these old legs. I think he's fresh enough here to play a full 5 sets with Alcaraz and give him a run for his money. So, of course, we like the plus, the money line, and, of course, this on Djokovic on the spread here. So that's how I feel about that one. Why not go with the Joker here? Keep it rolling. All right, we're finally talking some fights. We got Jonathan Michailov versus Oban Elliott. UFC action here we're going to talk about. I could pull up records and talk about all recent performances and stuff, but I'm going to talk mostly size advantage. It's just for this one, really. Size advantage, Michailov. Home advantage, Michailov. I would say the better striker, Michailov. The ability to have takedown defense because Oban Elliott is going to try to wrestle this guy. I don't know. I'm not in love with Elliott. There's been some times where he was a big favorite and he's laid an egg as like a minus 400 favorite. I get it now. He's the dog. I think rightly so, though. I got to look Michailov. It's not that bad of a price. Minus 135 here for Jonathan Michailov. I think that's the way to go. Uses that boxing, uses that length. More than likely to a unanimous decision. But I wouldn't even be surprised if he gets a late finish here. Elliott has gas before in the past. You can do the third round or later prop, meaning a finish in the third round or a decision win, and you cash. You always get a little bit of plus money doing that. Either way, I told you guys, Jonathan Micallef minus 135 would be the pick. We got Jacob Malkoun and Torrez Finney here. Both guys 11 fights in their career. Malkoun here, he hasn't fought in God knows how long. I was like having to rub my eyes and make sure it was just Jacob Malkoun. Good to see him back, 8-3 in his career. Obviously, Feeney here, the undefeated fighter, and has been more active. You look at Feeney, man, he looks like a tank of a man. We've cashed already on Torrez Finney a couple times, especially those Contender Series fights. I don't know. I kind of like the short price dog he is here, plus 118, plus 120. Do your line shopping here with him. I think it's alive for a knockout here, Torrez Finney. We know Malkoun's going to want to wrestle. And the thing is, Finney hasn't really proven to me that he can stop the wrestling type style. Again, these big, buff, muscular guys, they start getting that lactic acid in those muscles. They start gassing. That's my only concern. But I think Finney actually passes the test. He may stop Malkoun early. Again, I don't like the extended time off. First fight back, you get this guy who's just a freaking bodybuilder with some knockout power and actually has a little bit of wrestling too. Finney can pick you up and slam you on your head. We have to see his defensive wrestling. This is the test here that he's getting in this one. I think he passes it with flying colors, and we're getting some plus money with it. Torrez Finney here is the pick. All right, we got Ralston here and Cody Brundage. I think it's Cam Ralston. He's a fat favorite. I think up to minus 400 now. I sleazeball parlayed him here. Minus 350 is what I got it at. Hate to give you guys something this juice, but I just can't get on Cody Brundage. Has not shown me that he's been able to win a fight in almost, I think, his last 6. Brundage is wrestle. If he doesn't get the takedown, he's screwed. And Cam Ralston's not going to get him the takedown. Gigantic reach advantage. I actually like this Cam Ralston here in the middleweight division. The new trend now is be as big and as long as possible for each division. Cam Ralston fits that mold here for 185, a big, long middleweight. Give me Cam Ralston here. Wouldn't be surprised to see a sub. Brundage gets guillotined, front choked, or wouldn't even be surprised to see a knockout. Cam Ralston. It's all Cam Ralston minus 350 here in that one. 1 second, guys. I'll get right back to these fights. All right, we're back. Sorry, guys. All right, so we got Justin Tafa versus Billy Alicana. I like this Billy Alicana. I think he's game enough, first off, to travel all the way from America over here and go take on Tafa here, the hometown kid or the home country guy. Tafa, the Tafa brothers, anti-grappling. First thing I think of when I see Tafa. Holy smokes, grapple. Just grapple this guy. The thing is, their striking's not even that good. I get they have the kickboxing background, city kickboxing gym, all that type of stuff, but I've never been that impressed with either of the Tafa brothers. I think Alicana can name his way. I think he can even finish him on the feet. That's how confident I am with Alicana, the favorite here at minus 250. I actually do think he gets the takedowns, though. Mixes it all up. It's either a unanimous decision outclassing or a sub finish of some sort. Alicana's only way I could look in this one. Mr. Anti-Grappling is really the Tafa brothers. This one here, I'm taking a shot. It's ugly. Malarkey is he's chinny. I'm not going to say he's not chinny. He's been caught a couple times here. But he goes after it. He's going to be right here in Salkild's face, pushing the pace. These two guys, both from Australia. Salkild seems to be the hometown guy, though, from Perth here, getting a lot more of the fan love. A minus 1,000 favorite. I think the hype's getting a little too crazy here. Anytime I see these minus 1,000 cats, I'm looking to fade them. Sorry. I'm looking to fade him. I don't lay minus 1,000 with nobody. I don't care if it's Mike Tyson reincarnated. Sorry. I think Jamie Mullarkey can make this. Let me actually find this one, because this might be another second round to start prop. Even though Mullarkey is chinny and has been caught before, I think he does create some scrambles. Salkhill, I got to see him beat an elite guy for me to be 100% on him like he's the real deal. He beat this Ambul Anshul, the Jubal, the gerbil guy from India. Don't mean to disrespect him, man. I forgot his name. The dude from India, just a straight can to smash is what Salkhill has basically been his type of what do you call it, career so far. I'm just trying to pull up this prop, and then I'll move on from this fight. 1 second. Mullarkey. First off, like I said, Mullarkey's plus 650. Yes, I'm looking at all that value. A decision win at 14-1. Yes, I like that. Total takedowns. I like over a half takedown. This guy has to catch one takedown at plus 350. Jamie Mullarkey. Significant strikes are low. 31.5 and 17.5. I kind of like both guys to go over. They're expecting a quick knockout. It's because Mullarkey's chin, but I don't know. I think Mullarkey has seen everything Salkhill has done knockout-wise, and he's like, I know I can push the pace on guys, but this is the one fight I might chill here out the gate. Second round to start, yes, at minus 140. A little bit more juice than I wanted, but I do like that. Third round to start, yes, at plus 170. I like that. So obviously you guys see where I'm trying to go here. Everything plus money, Mullarkey side, a decision. I'm not going to sip the Salkhill lemonade just quite yet. Even if he finishes here easy, I'm still not sold on Salkhill. They're going to give him a big-time opponent if he does that. And I'm looking to fade this cat. Until the line gets back down to reality, that's what I have to do. Sorry. All right, we got Tai Tuivasa and Talshan Teixeira here. When I look at this one, it's crazy. I know Tuivasa's just been out of the game for a minute, been getting finished, been showing up 50 pounds overweight, just gut hanging way over his waistband. The reach and size advantage all in Talshan Teixeira's favor, but I'm on Tai Tuivasa. We got a shoey. We got a shoey alert here. Way too much plus money. Back in his hometown, or, the home country thing, these Australian guys, I'm going to lean them first. And you're getting plus money with a guy. Who is Talshan Teixeira beat? He's like, what, 8-1? He got knocked out versus Derek Lewis in a minute. And if you think Derek Lewis is the same Derek Lewis of old, he's not. We just saw how he looked against Waldo Cortez. Derek Lewis is way past his prime. And we cashed on that, okay? We cashed when Lewis knocked out Teixeira. I think Tuivasa can probably do something similar. Call me crazy. Teixeira is a 6'8" freak, long arms and everything, but fights with that chin way up in the air. I will admit, let me look at the round prop in this one, because if Tuivasa doesn't get him out in the first round, he's in trouble. I will say this one's not going the distance as well. Let me find the prop on that. I can't believe I'm talking this long about this fight. Apparently the public agrees, because I had Tuivasa at plus 340. It's down to plus 250. A little bit alarming. Public dog alert. Fight to start. Yeah. Minus 103 for the second round to start. It's actually minus 130 for no. For the third round to start, plus 350. Yes. Minus 560. No. Let me tell you the over-under on the rounds. Over 1.5 rounds at plus 250 or plus 205. Under 1.5 is minus 280. Again, judges don't see this, or not judges, but books don't see this one going the distance. I don't either. I think there's value on Talshan Teixeira. Tai Tuivasa. The only way I could back Talshan Teixeira would be by knockout. Let me find the knockout prop for him. 1 second. Method of results. It's minus 240 knockout here for Teixeira. Screw you. Come on, Bam Bam. Show him that you're not done, you fat little. Yeah, that's how I feel about that one. Tai Tuivasa. We're gambling. We got Mauricio Hufi and why is this guy's name? Rafael Fiziev. This is a great fight. This is a great fight. The gamemanship I got to just not look at because I'm getting back and forth flip-floppy on this one. I am. This is a tough fight to call. Okay, Fiziev has been the jovial, kind of playful type all week, and I was hoping he'd be just a killer all week. Stern, staring him down, no games to play. I'm going to walk you down, and I'm going to, fight right in your face. He still may fight like that, and he still actually may use the wrestling because I think that's the way you attack Rufi is trying to get him on the ground, wrestle him, eat space. You do not want to be at kick range with Rufi. He will spinning wheel kick out of nowhere. He will do some sort of jumping flying knee out of nowhere or some crap like that. You want to crowd this dude. I'm talking about just crowd this cat. Fiziev has the type of style that has done that in the past. The knockout versus Money Moicano, he walked bang, bang over the top. That was just an iconic knockout from Fiziev. I got to go with the plus money you're still getting here. I think it's an even price now. I did see plus 120 earlier in the week, so the public seems to agree with me again. A couple public dogs I'm giving out. But I agree. I think Hufi wins by knockout. I don't see him winning a decision because of the volume disparity. I see Hufi looking for that one big shot, and I see Fiziev not caring about getting hit by the one big shot and throwing combinations and volume here. And the judges see that. That makes a big impact on what they are going to mark for who wins the round. The guy that's picking and choosing when he wants to throw, or the guy that's just throwing with reckless abandon. And I think Fiziev has a way of doing the reckless abandon with a little bit of defense still. And again, the wrestling still in the back pocket for Fiziev. I like that a lot. Plus 100 here, Rafael Fiziev. All right, guys. I'm going to get here into the chat, and then I'll talk about the last three fights. We got Dan Hooker and Beneil Saint-Denis we'll talk about up next. But real quick, let me get to the chat here. This cat's talking about Diego Lopez. What's up, Mark Scott? I will talk about that one. Of course, the main event I will get right into. And then we got Billy Feeman here. Can I ask you a question? Go for it, Billy. Whenever you're ready, I'll get back to the chat here in a second. All right, let's get to Dan Hooker, Benoit Saint-Denis. I can't stand Saint-Denis, if I'm being honest. One-trick pony. I think his striking is trash. Sorry. I think he showed something last time out. Don't get me wrong. And he's obviously, I would say, top 5 in the world. I think he's going to win this fight. I don't think he's that good, but I think he's going to win this fight. Hooker is at the point where he's almost Nate Diaz-like. It's just like the strategy is I'm going to knock you out. If I don't knock you out, I'm going to lose the decision. I hate betting on guys like that because they most likely are not going to get the knockout. Saint-Denis is going to use the wrestling. We've seen Hooker struggle with grapplers in the past. And again, Saint-Denis has just enough striking, even though I said it's trash, just enough striking to keep Dan Hooker at bay. I think he has serious title aspirations here, Saint-Denis. I will admit he's hungry. I don't think nothing's going to get in this guy's way here except maybe a Sarukian. Obviously, if Makhachev decide to come down, there's some elite top of the food chain guys that I can't put BSD up there with. But I think he's better than Dan Hooker. I have to agree with the line here as the favorite. Benoit Saint-Denis gets it done. I don't know if it's decision or sub or whatnot, but it's Saint-Denis the side I'm looking at in this one. We're talking about the main event here. Alexander Volkanovski, Diego Lopez. We already had somebody in the chat give us a pick here. They like Diego Lopez. And you know what I do like? Let me go to the total here in this one. I think it's juiced. It's going to be juiced clearly to the over. Let me find out, though, because, again, hard to pick one. I can make a case that Diego Lopez makes the adjustments. One second. Sorry, guys. I can make the case. Diego Lopez can make the adjustments from last time's fight, in which he had Volkanovski fighting on the back foot, which I don't want Volkanovski fighting on the back foot in this fight, especially as a shorter guy with the less reach. I need you working in on those legs, even just faking takedowns. Even if you can't get the takedowns, faking like you're going to take him down, pushing him up against the cage, getting some combinations up against the cage, clenching him up against the fence again. We need Volkanovski controlling the center of the ring. I think that's the adjustment that Volkanovski makes. And Diego Lopez is the one that's throwing check hooks and circling out and has his back up against the cage, at least for the first 3 rounds in this one, especially the far travel here to Perth or, again, Australia. I think Volkanovski gets it done. Still don't underestimate this guy. All-time great. Everybody's saying he's on his last legs. I think he has a little bit more in the tank. I think he's going to eventually challenge for the 155 belt eventually again. And if he gets it, he will ride off into the sunset. Volkanovski will be a UFC Hall of Famer. I don't like to fade those guys when I think they have something left in the tank, and I think he does. Obviously, if this one goes to the ground, I still like Volkanovski. I like Volkanovski to get takedowns in this fight. I like Volkanovski to take off all those submissions that Lopez may be throwing at him with the triangle chokes and the guillotine chokes that Lopez can throw up at any given moment. Again, scrambles. Who's going to win the scrambles in this fight? Volkanovski looks in shape. Came in 144 pounds. Love Volkanovski here. Minus 145, I'm seeing as the line. It's not bad for a championship fight. Again, let me get you to the total here. That's what I was trying to find you guys. Over 4.5 rounds, which is solid because I think Volkanovski does win a decision, is minus 115. So therefore, let's say it is a tight fight. You don't know who the hell is going to win it. At least you got the over money in your back pocket. Over 4.5, love that pick. Let me see here. Method of result. If you like Diego Lopez, plus 525 by decision, not bad. They actually have it plus 300 by knockout, so they think, again, if he wins, it's because he catches Volk. I don't know. I don't think Diego Lopez catches Volk. It's going to be a more top of the food chain type striker, like a Topuria who's done it already. These type of Makhachev type that will finish Volkanovski. I can't put Lopez in top of the food chain just quite yet. I think Volkanovski is a lot closer to top of the food chain. Again, on Volkanovski, enough ranting on this one. Oh, wait. There's one more we got to talk about. I already told you guys my pick earlier this week with Teofimo Lopez here taking on Shakur Stevenson. What a great fight we have here. 140-pound strap on the line here. Teofimo putting all the belts here up. I think he's going to destroy Shakur Stevenson. I like the knockout prop at 8-1. And also, obviously, just like the plus 265 price you're getting with Teofimo Lopez. The Southpaw killer, as they like to say. Obviously, what he did against Lomachenko, Josh Taylor. That's another reason why I was on Lopez. Backstory between these two guys. These guys have been rivals since the amateur days. Shakur Stevenson has been the golden boy of boxing for the longest of time now. Much reminds me of a Devin Haney as well. These guys that had a great amateur careers have been, coddled up in the pro ranks. Stevenson lately has proven himself with some tough fights that he's had, but I don't think he's seen anybody quite like Teofimo Lopez. I think some of the body language at these stare downs, not to make a big deal about it because it's a freaking stare down at the end of the day, seems to me the self-belief isn't quite as much as you normally see in Shakur Stevenson. I think Teofimo Lopez's game has been in there with the best of the best, and it's just straight up not scared of Shakur Stevenson. My only concern is Teofimo looks past Shakur Stevenson, but I think he knows those belts are on the line, too much at stake. We got a fat plus price with Teofimo Lopez that I cannot look past. Let me guys know what you think. I'm still waiting on the question out of, Billy. Let me know what you were wanting to ask, Billy. I'll answer it. But other than that, that's all the picks I have for you guys. We covered so much. Hockey, NBA, college hoops, tennis. What else we covered? I gave you guys a soccer pick, which wasn't even on the script. I found one for you guys. It was at least one I was looking at. Couldn't even make it to show. Talk about show. Couldn't even make it to free pick. So don't come here and kill me if Leverkusen doesn't get it done tomorrow. Soccer, when you're betting on a side to win the game, you got to look at it as you have a 33% chance because The other team has a 33% chance to win the game. And then the other 33% chance is the draw. Obviously, as the team is better, that 33% can be 40%. Soccer is very tricky. Don't get mad at me if Leverkusen doesn't come through tomorrow. Again, it wasn't even supposed to be talked about. It didn't even make the free pick list, but we wound up discussing it. Enough ranting on soccer. We talked about tennis. I'm giving out, it might be a public dog with Djokovic, but when you cash this at plus 700, I have no problem turning it right back over and just putting a little bit on you there to get the Australian Open done. Yeah, why not? We finally don't have a sinner and Alcaraz final. We got Djokovic in there. So I'll take a chance on the dog there in that one. And then we talked about all these fights. What was the dog that stuck out? What was the dog that stuck out? It was Tai Tuivasa, Jamie Malarkey. Ugly dogs that people probably on. Probably public dogs, but it's like I can't blame you guys. I can't blame you guys if you get on Malarkey, if you get on Tuivasa. That's how I look at that one. Yeah, that was it really dog-wise. There was a short price dog, which I already talked about. Again, go back and look. Covered a lot today. Let me show you guys how today went, and then I'll get out of here. Last 7 days, we've been kind of back on track. Again, the beginning of the month was rough. 1 second. Let me pull it up. There we go. All right. So, yeah, beginning of the month was rough, but we're starting to pick things up. I think we're down about 10 units on the year. So now that we're up 4, we're down about 6 units on the year. I mean, there was literally a 1 in 13 type day in there. So when you do that, it's going to take you a week or two to get that back. So there you go. Look, as of late, I think it's 4 straight. Spurs got us done the other night. Yesterday, our mid-major game of the month, got it done with Central Connecticut. Loved Cornell. I even told you guys to extendo this bad boy up to 10.5, up to 14.5, whatever you guys wanted. Oh, yeah, Cornell. Like I said, what did I say? Much faster pace. They run Princeton out the gym. Yeah, screw Princeton. Sorry. Stick to putting presidents for us, getting us presidents. That's all Princeton's good for, right? All right, we got Michigan tonight, which, what a scare this game was. That crowd at Michigan State is almost unfadable. Holy smokes, the home court advantage Michigan State has, man. Very few teams can go up in there and whoop up on them like that. And this wasn't a whooping. I know the score looks like it was. It was, shoot. They were up by 18 at one point, Michigan. Michigan State comes roaring back, a huge comeback. They get the lead. Of course, Michigan fights back at the end and knocks the free throws down with the little free throw game. Lendenberg played big down the stretch. Elliot Cadeau played big down the stretch here. I even mentioned it, Elliot Cadeau, Jeremy Fears matchup. Yeah, I'm looking to keep this ball rolling tomorrow, guys. I don't even have any plays up yet because I'm trying to make sure any last-minute information, especially with UFC. I did like to check in the weigh-ins, which everything looked good as far as everything I was talking about. Yeah, everything was confirmed pretty much. Tuivasa's still fat. But there you go, guys. That's everything. Tony's picks, look-ahead show here. Check out what we have on the site. Again, link in the description. Trying to get these banners up 1 second. Link in the description here. And like and subscribe. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys have a very, very, very wonderful weekend. And I will see you guys on Sunday. I'm not going to be able to pop a show up tomorrow, guys. I'm going to be watching that UFC event. These things do get done a little late. But yeah, best of luck. Hope you guys cash tomorrow. And I'll see you guys on Sunday. Peace.